You know, I made this show to explain the reasons why people like to bitch and complain about the stupidest stuff. But I also made it to explain to normal people, or just people in general, why something really is bad and is deserved to be hated and disliked. Now, we're only a couple episodes in, but I think it's time we discuss the fallen network we know as Cartoon Network. So, like every episode, we gotta jump right in. So I'm coming out the water. I'm hitting the ground running. Cause fuck Cartoon Network. Fuck what Cartoon Network has become. Cartoon Network is some more bullshit. Okay? And everyone who says they like Cartoon Network now has not seen any of the great cartoon shows. They couldn't have. They couldn't have. Cause they would see it and they'd be like, what the fuck is this bullshit on Cartoon Network? I'm about to kill Cartoon Network in this video, because fuck Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network is on some shit, okay? They are on Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network is smoking on that Dodeku tree, man, because fuck Cartoon Network. It actually become a rant, but lots of people agree with me anyway. So, first reason to hate Cartoon Network is this. Cartoon Network did a blow to us. That was so hard. We just can't forget it. We just can't. I can't forget it. I can't forget it. I can't. And you know what they did? They took off Toonami. Now, you could say, they brought it back. But they only brought it back because they knew they fucked up. That's why they brought it back. Because they knew they fucked up when they took off Toonami. Cartoon Network literally lost 66% of its viewers when it took off Toonami. Toonami was the only thing that kept me personally going back to Cartoon Network, because later in this video I'm going to explain why they were even fucking up in the first place. Okay, so when they took off Toonami, I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe it. They took off Toonami, and they took off some pretty good shows and I can't forget it. I can't forget what they did. What they did to us. They killed Toonami for no reason. Toonami was literally their lifeline, and they killed it. This is why they had to bring it back, because they knew they were in some deep shit, and they had to bring back Toonami. They knew it. They knew it. So this is where Cartoon Network was really fucked up from the beginning. Excuse me. Cartoon Network had to cancel a lot of its older cartoons, and that's okay, because a network can't continuously produce as many SD shows to the quality that it was for as long as it did in the first place. This is one reason why Cartoon Network was great from the beginning, because it had a lot of great shows back from the 90s and even back from the 80s that were actually still really good. And they went into the new millennia, but they couldn't keep up production, so they had to cancel it. That's fine. That's okay. But the replacement, the shit they got to replace it, what the fuck? Only every now and again would Cartoon Network actually get a good show. I mean, Chowder was funny at first, but then it just got stupid and repetitive and dumb. Camp Lazlo? I don't even want to talk. Fuck Camp Lazlo. What the heck? What the bean was that all about? I mean, they had a lot of good shows going back on, man. But they just never hit the quality that the cartoons had. And maybe I'm saying that, maybe I'm a little biased, because I grew up with those cartoons. But seriously, I mean, the humor in a lot of these cartoon shows now is like low-grade BS. You know, there is one funny show on Cartoon Network right now. That's The Amazing World of Gumball. That shit is hilarious. But that's just one. Adventure Time? They play Adventure Time fucking religiously. I mean, Adventure Time was a hit first, but then you saturated it. What time is it on Cartoon Network? It's Adventure Time 24/7. Oh my goodness. They flooded their network with only shows that really get viewers, but it's like the law of marginal diminishing value. And basically what that means is the more you get something, the less you value it. You know, I mean, after you eat a hamburger, hey, the hamburger tastes good first time. Get you another hamburger. It's alright, not as good as the first one. Get you a third hamburger. You're like, okay man, I had enough. Get you a fourth one. You're like, alright, I want a hot dog now. And that's kind of how it is with Adventure Time. You know? So what I'm saying is, to sum up all I just said, Cartoon Network had to replace its older shows with shows that never really hit, never really was as good as the first ones. And the shows that really are good and are funny are played continuously. DC Nation was a great idea. Because they finally gave us a nice action block that kind of went back to what Saturday mornings were for little kids. And you know, nice action cartoons, you know, get your morning started, you know, really pumped with adrenaline and good quality shows. But you know what Cartoon Network decided to do? Cartoon Network decided to not only cancel 2 pretty good shows, but to replace them with, well actually, one's getting replaced with a pretty good show. The other one was replaced with some bullshit. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Young Justice and Teen Titans Go. Yes, the problem Cartoon Network has, and those were just examples, but a problem Cartoon Network has is Cartoon Network seems to love to cancel shows that are actually really good for no fucking reason. Young Justice, beautiful, great show. Green Lantern, never saw episode. My little sister said it was a good show. I'll take her word for it. Both of them canceled on cliffhangers. Didn't even finish the story. Didn't even complete the story. Canceled. And Young Justice was replaced with the bullshit Teen Titans Go. Want to know why I call it bullshit? This is why I call it bullshit. And a lot of people are like, well, you know, it's a new show. It's different. Just watch it. It'll be okay. No, fuck that shit. It won't be okay. Because Teen Titans Go is the exact same show that we have seen for the past 20 years. It's one of those slice of life bullshits where they try to make everyday life seem comedical and funny. We have had this shit before. We have seen Teen Titans Go before in almost every single one of the original cartoon show, and their fucks better to goddamn begin with. We've already seen it. It's nothing new. You just have Teen Titans doing what Ed, Edd n Eddy was doing. Doing what Dexter was doing. Doing what Johnny Bravo was doing. Doing what Cow and Chicken was doing. Doing what the Powerpuff Girls was doing. Doing what Courage the Cowardly Dog was doing. Doing what the Sheep and the Big Shitty was doing. See? And there's just so much more shows I can just pull out the woodworks. We've already seen it before. It's nothing new. But with Young Justice, this was a new show on Cartoon Network. Because now we actually had a show with a storyline. Now we have to show we gotta pay attention to. A show that's interesting, has action in it. A show that doesn't have to have a main definitive character, but can still have a really good story by focusing on everybody individually and showing how it all works together. Which is the main theme of the show, working together, being a team. We had a great show and Cartoon Network canceled it. You wanna know another good show Cartoon Network canceled? Thundercats. Thundercats was beautiful, not only in its animation, but in its storytelling elements. Thundercats, I fucking love that show. I loved watching Thundercats. They gave us a nice, fresh, new show. We had action, we had adventure, we had a storyline going in. We actually saw the character grow. Lion-O, he won sometimes, he lost sometimes, he's growing up. We're seeing him become a leader. And it's beautiful. And you can see he's becoming a man. And they canceled a great show. Not only did they cancel a great show, but they canceled it on a fucking cliffhanger. Now the show's never going to have an ending. Now a great show is never going to fucking end. Never. It's never going to have an ending. Same thing with Young Justice. They end that shit with a cliffhanger. They show Darkseid, one of my top 10 favorite villains of all time. They show Darkseid at the end of the last fucking episode. So now we don't know what the fuck Vandal Savage was doing. But those are just examples. Those are just examples of the point being Cartoon Network cancels great shows on cliffhangers. So in conclusion, me, a lot of other people, hate Cartoon Network because, one, took out Toonami. We're never going to forget that. 2, cancels all of its good shows and replaces it with shows that are less than mediocre. And 3, it cancels great shows and always leaves them on cliffhangers. Now, of course, there's lots of other reasons why people hate Cartoon Network, but I can't really explain them all in this video. So, I want to thank you guys for taking time to stop by and listen to me bitch and complain about Cartoon Network. Adios.